How are you? Already said hi to him.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, have a motion, second, take it off the table. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Ayes carry, motion passes. We have just the one item tonight to talk about, and that's the budget that we had that was some concern last week. And so this is back on the table now, so what's your pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Pass it on to the full court?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I have a second? Got a motion, second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries.
I mean, like you had a no, you got the council vote.
We got one no.
I don't know how many it was. It was
Judge, would you call the roll?
AG,
Yes or no?
Here and yes.
okay. Adams,
Here and no.
Byrd,
Yes.
Carroll,
No.
Dumas, Gaddy, Harden,
Yes. I'm chairman, Judge. I don't count right now. I won't count right now. I'm chairman.
yeah.
Yeah.
Holcomb,
Yes.
Jackson, Johnson, Reginald Johnson,
No.
Miss Williams, Marguerite Williams.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Mr. Franklin.
Oh, I'm sorry. Justice Franklin,
Or you abstain or no, either or. However you want to count.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. It is a tie.
There's only 11 of us.
Wait a minute. Am I missing somebody? Oh, I'm sorry. It's 6 yes. AG yes. Byrd yes. Harden yes. Holcomb yes. Patricia Roy Johnson yes. Marguerite Williams yes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 no. 6 yes, 5 no. So yes, have.
So the motion does pass. That we pass it on to the full court with a do pass recommendation. This concludes the Finance Committee meeting.
Thank you, Justice Harden. Ready? You ready, Miss Marcy? You always ready? Okay. Welcome to the agenda for the full quorum court meeting here tonight, January 8th, 2024. Justice Adam, would you lead us in a word of prayer, please?
About here. Heavenly Father, we come first of all giving you praise, glory, and honor.
Thank you, sir, for this another opportunity that you have allowed us to come together. Lord, we ask you right now, if you just keep us on one accord, that we might do this county business and be so mindful, God, to give you the praise, glory, and all the honor. It's in Christ Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Secretary, would you call the roll, please?
Adams.
Here.
Agee.
Yes.
Byrd.
Present.
Carroll.
Here.
Dumas. Franklin.
Here.
Gaddy. Hardin.
present.
Holcomb.
Here.
Jackson. Patricia Johnson. Reginald Johnson.
Here.
Margaret Williams.
Justice Carroll?
They didn't do it now. I guess we didn't announce, but it's to be announced, the time for the full court meeting to start, just before 5:30. Are you expecting that time to start?
Justice Carroll, again, the 5:15 for the committee meeting, since it was after 5:15 when we got started on that, and this quorum court was to follow immediately, well, follow the committee, I don't see a reason why we're talking about a couple of minutes, that we can't go ahead and get started.
I was just curious, considering the member who may have been anticipating 5:30.
Okay, well, they're here, so we'll proceed on. Next, we'll have the treasurer's report, and that's Ms. Goodwin, Mrs. Goodwin.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
I will be reporting the treasurer's report for December 2023. We have a beginning balance of $28,118,222.53.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that, please? I'm sorry.
$28,118,222.53. We had revenue for the month, $14,827,191.62. Expenditures for the month of December, $19,363,553.94, giving us an ending balance on December 31, $23,581,860.21. And also included with your report, you'll see the last 2 pages. There was some additional information requested on the keynotes to investments that we have. So there is a letter that is attached, that was sent out to, Judge, myself, and Tony Washington, the tax collector, just notifying you that there were 2 investments that were gonna be, maturing the end of January, and we would be reinvesting those back with Simmons First National Bank.
Question. Question, Mr. Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
Is the investment consistent with the ordinance that was passed establishing the depository board?
The depository board was already established. That was prior to, that's something, so I don't know if there, I don't have an ordinance, establishing a depository board. I don't have one. I haven't received an ordinance establishing a depository board. But the depository board that's always been in effect or is comprised of the judge, myself, and the tax collector.
Yeah.
I have not received an ordinance establishing a depository board.
Thank you, Madam Treasurer.
Thank you.
Next, we'll have the reading and, a reading and disposition of the minutes.
The Jefferson County Quorum Court met for its regular meeting at 5:30 p.m. Wednesday, December 20th, 2023. Jimmy Fisher gave the invocation. Judge Gerald Robinson called the meeting to order. Judge Robinson asked everyone to cite the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Tiffany Lowry, Chief Deputy Clerk, called the roll. The following members answered present upon the calling of their names: Reginald Adams, Roy Agee, Conley Byrd, Alfred Curl, Melanie Dumas, Lloyd Franklin, Brenda Gaddy, Ted Harden, Danny Holcomb, Cedric Jackson, Patricia Johnson, Reginald Johnson, and Margaret Williams. The minutes for November 2023 Quorum Court meeting were read aloud. Justice Ted Harden made a motion to approve the minutes, which was seconded by Justice Patricia Johnson. Venetia Goodwin gave the treasurer's report. There was some discussion. Justice Byrd made a motion to approve the report, which was seconded by Justice Harden. Unfinished business, none. Comments or questions from the public? New business. A vote to approve the tax rate for 2023 to be collected in 2024 was read. The ordinance was motioned by Justice Harden and seconded by Justice Curl. All justices voted in favor of the ordinance. Announcements. Judge Robinson asked that the justices to postpone their meeting scheduled so everyone could be on the same page. Judge Robinson also stated that they still needed to pass the 2024 budget and bonuses for the employees. That's the December 20th meeting. The Jefferson County Quorum Court met for a special meeting at 5:30 Wednesday, December 27, 2023. Judge Gerald Robinson called the meeting to order. Judge Robinson gave the invocation. Judge Robinson asked everyone to cite the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Tiffany Lowry, Chief Deputy Clerk, called the roll. The following members answered present upon the calling of their names: Reginald Adams, Roy Agee, Conley Byrd, Alfred Curl, Melanie Dumas, Lloyd Franklin, Brenda Gaddy, Ted Harden, Danny Holcomb, Cedric Jackson, Patricia Johnson, Reginald Johnson, and Margaret Williams. Justice Franklin made a motion to deal with only 3 items on the agenda, which included the employee Christmas bonus, per diem adjustment, and the 2024 budget. The motion was seconded by Justice Harden. Justice Franklin made a motion to add the per diem ordinance adjustment ordinance to the agenda, which was seconded by Justice Agee. A motion was made by Justice Harden to suspend the rules and read by title only. The motion was seconded by Justice Patricia Johnson. New business and appropriation ordinance to transfer monies to County General for the year 2023 Christmas bonuses was read. The ordinance was motioned by Justice Agee and seconded by Justice Gaddy. There was some discussion among the justices. Justice Franklin made a motion to amend the language to the ordinance, which was seconded by Justice Curl. The ordinance passed with a roll call vote of 12 yeas and 1 nay. Justice Gaddy stated on record that her answer has been yes to the bonus all along. Item 2, the ordinance for a supplemental appropriation to Fund 1000 County General Quorum Court was read. The ordinance was motioned by Justice Agee and seconded by Justice Harden. There was some discussion among the justices. The ordinance passed with a roll call vote of 11 yeas and 2 nays. An appropriation ordinance approving a budget for Jefferson County, Arkansas for the fiscal year January 1, 2024 through December 31st, 2024 was read. The ordinance was motioned by Justice Agee and seconded by Justice Harden. There was some discussion among the justices. Justice Franklin made a motion to take a recess, which was seconded by Justice Reginald Johnson. Justice Franklin made a motion to ensure with the reading of the budget created from the JP's proceedings and amend going forward. It was seconded by Justice Agee. Justice Franklin made a motion to recombine the 10,000 gas per diem with county judge salary, which was seconded by Justice Agee. All justices voted in favor of the amendment. Justice Franklin made a motion to reinstate original requested salary of $80,000 for Chief of Staff in County Judge's Office, which was seconded by Justice Agee. There was some discussion among the justices. Amendment passed with a roll call vote of 12 yeas and 1 nay. Justice Franklin made a motion to reflect salary change for 6th Division Chief Juvenile Officer to $80,000, which was seconded by Justice Agee. There was some discussion among the justices. Amendment passed with a roll call vote of 12 yeas and 1 no. Franklin point of information to establish slot in tax collector's office will follow up in January. A motion was made by Justice Franklin to suspend the rules and move to the third and final reading to pass ordinance with amended changes, which was seconded by Justice Agee. All justices voted in favor of the ordinance.
Move we approve the minutes.
We'll straighten that out after, thank you. Okay, there was a motion made and second. All in favor respond by saying aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Next, we'll have the report of the committees. Human Resources, Justice Danny Holcomb.
You wanna take that?
I stood in as chair for that meeting. We had 2 items before us. We passed them both and sent it on to the Finance Council with a due pass. That concludes the minutes on.
Thank you, Justice Byrd. Next, we'll have Budget and Finance, Justice Ted Harden.
Judge, we had 3 items come to the Finance Committee. All three ordinances were passed on to the full court with the recommendation of a due pass.
Okay, thank you, Justice Harden. Next, we'll have the.
Point of order.
Who was that?
Point of order.
Justice Franklin?
And I could be wrong, but I attended that finance meeting, and I think there was a discussion of one item, and it was tabled, but I don't recall a vote for any other 2 items that was there to be passed on to the full quorum court from finance. I could be wrong.
Judge, I believe they were passed on, the 2 were passed on to the
There
full
was 2
court
that
in
passed on,
the
then the
committee
other,
meeting.
the last one was tabled.
Yeah, and they only had 1 table.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Justice Franklin. Next we'll have Justice Carroll.
What happens when we no longer get a written minutes on the committee meetings? At one time, we did get written minutes on the committee meetings. What happened at that stop?
Justice Carroll, that hadn't happened in a while, but if you would, can we not take that up after the meeting? Let's go ahead and go through with the meeting, and then if that's a concern, we can take care of that.
About that, so I'm just asking a timely question. There was some confusion even before the question was asked by Justice Franklin, and I'm just asking what transpired to stop us getting those minutes from the committee meetings.
To my recollection, we have not had any transposed minutes to the meeting since the meeting is audio and video, that everyone has access to those meetings. So we have not done that in my tenure. So, but if that is something that you would require and want, then we can start doing it. That's not a problem.
I certainly would appreciate it if you would so.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Justice Carroll. We'll take that under full consideration. Next, do we have any comments or questions from the public on the business before us? I see. Did you raise your hand?
Yes, I have a comment, but it's not on the business, it's on the table.
Okay, it has to be on the business before us.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else that has any questions, comments or questions? All right, if not, we'll move into new business. Madam
Judge,
Secretary.
I move we suspend the rules and have the reading of the ordinances by title only and move to third reading where applicable.
A motion has been made and properly second. All in favor, any questions? All in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
My understanding is, from ACA, that motion to suspend the rules has to be done on each item, not in its entirety, not in the agenda's entirety.
Okay. Doesn't matter, does it matter?
I don't think it matters. I've never heard it put like that. Easy enough to do it.
Okay,
But I don't see you have to.
okay. We can do it that way, it's not a problem. Madam Secretary?
You're gonna vote on it.
There was a motion and a second. That was amended by Justice Carroll to suspend the rules before each item. So there was a motion and an amendment. Do I have a second on that?
Wait, what?
There was a motion made, but Justice Carroll amended the motion by wanting that the suspension of the rules be applied to each item rather than blanket cover all of the items.
I don't think that's
I did not make a motion.
yeah.
I was giving information.
Okay.
I thought, okay.
And I think what he's stating is it needs to be done on each item individually.
I thought my mistake, I thought he made a motion to that effect, amended it. Okay. Well, a motion's been made and second. All in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Okay. Madam Secretary, will you call the roll?
Adams,
It's to read by title.
Yes.
Agee,
Yes.
Byrd, Carroll,
No.
Dumas, Franklin,
I'm gonna stand out of this one.
Getty,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
Holcomb,
Yes.
Jackson, Patricia Johnson, Reginald Johnson, Margaret Williams.
No, I'd like to hear it read it.
They got 2 noes, 1 abstain.
Motion passes. Motion passed. Okay, Madam Secretary.
Item 1, an appropriation ordinance to provide a supplemental appropriation to Fund 2000 Road from 1814 County Emergency Reserve Fund.
Move for the adoption.
Motion has been made and properly second. Questions? All in
I
favor?
got a question.
Oh, okay. Justice Johnson?
I see you taking this from the emergency road. This is something, why is it coming from the emergency road fund? Like, is this?
No,
I'm sorry.
emergency reserve.
Yeah, why is this an emergency? Like, because the budget just moved over, so what is?
Now, the emergency reserve fund was, where the money was available to take it from so that we can complete those expenditures, rather than trying to, pull from county general. So that would protect us from having to take it out of county general. And since that money is there for, emergencies, things of that nature, or as a use so that it would take burden off of the county general.
Where did this money come from that's in this fund?
These money came from, as we, over the years, as we had a carryover, we created this, the Quorum Court created emergency reserve fund, county general reserve fund, a detention facilities M&O reserve fund. And so these were created so that we could put money back so that if we did need those monies, or for instance, if the sheriff needed monies for a detention facility, he could use, and then also in county general if we had something. So rather than take it from county general reserve or ask for it from county general reserve, we didn't want to deplete that or ask for it out of that fund, since county general is our main operating fund. We asked for it out of.
So this was money that was once in county general at one time, or where did it come from to be put into this fund?
These monies were carryover funds.
Oh, okay, from the
Yeah,
previous years.
yes, from previous years, yes. So, any other questions?
But essentially, it's county general money.
Well,
Money that was moved from county general to the reserve fund.
Yeah, it was a carryover.
And sometimes throughout the year, money is moved to this fund by court order.
It could be done through the court. It could be done by court order.
Was there a court order moving money into this fund last year?
Yes, it was.
How much was the court order for?
I'm not sure. I have to check with the treasurer on that, but I'm not sure.
Was it 1 million?
I'm not sure. It could have been 800,000, I believe. Could have been, I don't know.
But it wasn't carryover. It was money moved from county general.
No, these were monies that moved from county general as they were carried over from the previous year.
It's not a carryover if you do a court order. Carryover is what you carry over at the end of the year. Carryover is what projected or added to our projected revenue. You did it by court order, you just moved it.
Well, Justice Franklin, yes, it was moved. It is in a line item approved by the Quorum Court, whether it be emergency reserve fund, just like county general reserve is approved by the Quorum Court. So those monies were moved, yes. Okay.
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
I voted no because I felt like it should be read because I felt like there was a large amount of money. And I think people need to know what we're asking for and why we're asking for it in this current reserve. I felt the money was a huge amount and people don't know that.
Yes, and it was broken down. It's broken down
Right,
as
I saw it broken down, but
yes.
I knew this was the same orders that came up in November and December.
Yes.
And we did not get to it.
Yes.
So we were looking at 2023 funds at that time.
Yes.
Can you explain to me how we will appropriate 2023 outlook here in 2024?
Okay. These monies, as we asked for last year, were for bills that were delinquent, for roads that we were still fixing on, for professional services that were rendered, all those things. And so that's why we broke it down and told you what the monies would be used for. As you know, we had significant cost in fuel and services and all those things. And for those 3, maybe 4 months that we were requesting these appropriations, bills continue to ensue. So even though we have a new budget, we still have those delinquent bills. And remember in the last meeting, I said, hey, we still were going to have to come back and ask for these additional monies because we had those delinquencies.
So we're sending all of this money to 2000 road department. But all of those delinquent bills, are they road department bills?
We have the breakdown, and if you would look in your packet. Yes.
In your breakdown, you have like a $300,000 other professional services with no type of, you just say professional services, what does that mean? Like
Other professional services were vendors that we use that we contracted to do road services such as Cato's asphalt. So I think
Is that not something that can be listed instead of broadly put up under other professional services?
Well, generally, you know, we normally put those when we use other vendors and things like that, especially again to do those specialized work that we need done. We put it on the other professional services. But if the needs to be to break out who those vendors are or whatever, we can do that. I mean, but we're not trying to pull the wool over anything over anybody's eyes. It's just that's where we pay some of our vendors and stuff out of other professional services. But if you want it broken down into who it is and all those
Yes, sir, I
things,
would like to see those things
yeah,
broken
that's
down.
not a problem. I think, yeah,
Can you do it now?
yeah, you can. Yeah, go ahead.
Some of the other professional services that we have include things like our pest control, record services, any bill that there's not a line for. Alarm company, Cato, the person who lays our concrete, tree services, Pollution Management Incorporated. We have to do a stormwater pollution prevention plan, and it's time for us to do that again, and that's several $1,000s. So there's a whole list of things that
What's your most expensive thing on that list?
Mr. Cato,
And how much is that?
I'm sorry, yeah, $253,000.
So every item on that list goes to the road department. Everything
Yes, ma'am.
is to the road department. Regardless of where it's itemized, the road department will get it.
Yeah, I have all these bills.
I'd like to ask you a piece that's important for me because I have a county district with so many people needing roads and so many calls and so many concerns. And this is very important to me. That's why I'm asking for the road department. And I want my constituents to listen and hear and know that I'm a proponent of giving money for the road department. I want to make sure that we understand that can we do something in 2024 that lets my people know who been saying, I don't get my road done, but I hear a lot of roads are getting done. How do I help them itemize what roads are getting done and where it's located? When can I tell you you can get the road done in May or June or July? Something out there, something that should be.
Last year, we did Brown Cemetery Road, and that cost us roughly $700,000.
And
That is District 6.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
We also did Snyder Road. It was included in that because it runs off of Brown Cemetery. And I believe we did another road, but I am totally blanking the name of it in your district. You remember?
What did you do, Gabby Coons?
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yes, sir.
I know I used to get calls all the time about that.
thank you, Sandra. Any other questions?
So basically, looking at this list and all the stuff that's on there, basically what you're telling the Quorum Court is the county road department went over budget by $1 million last year.
Roughly that, if we're asking for additional appropriations.
So we did go $1 million over budget, or we created $1 million worth of bills that were not in the budget?
No, we didn't create bills, Justice Franklin. Those were bills that was already in due to inflation, due to the cost of materials. It caused us to have to ask for more money. No different than you know, anybody asking for services and or costs that they didn't foresee, such as, give you for instance, the elevator going out. We didn't budget for a $15,000 to $20,000 bill.
And so this $1 million that you're asking for, did you say you have $1 million worth of bills that you went over budget that you have? Do you have a problem with providing the invoices for last year, the dated invoices to support this $1 million that you're asking for?
I think that's not a problem. I think we had invoices in the initial asking for.
They were not in there.
Well, we have no problem providing you with invoices from any other vendors.
So
I can assure you that delinquency is there and that the vendors is there. So it's no ghost monies that we're asking for. These were things that was actually done, and the cost of all this stuff, I'm sure you know how fuel and all those things increase. So, but no, that's not a problem. We can give you an invoice of everything you're asking for.
So you would like for us to table this until you put all this together to bring it back? Because right there, $1 million, there's not enough invoices there to support a tenth of that in the packet that you sent in.
No, I'm not asking for you to table. The money is there. Are you saying that you don't trust what we're asking you for?
I'm saying that we need documentation. It's not for me to trust, it's for me to verify.
Okay, well,
If you're telling me that you went $1 million over budget, $1 million, $1 million, and if this turns into a recurring problem, because if you go over, first off, no other elected official goes over budget. This is the first that I've heard that somebody just goes over $1 million in their budget. So you go over $1 million, you have these excess of invoices. And the problem is that we can appropriate money through the wholesale fuel tax, the turn back tax, all of this stuff. But now you're reaching for the county reserve, which is county general funding. And that's something that's never been done before. And you're reaching for an absurd amount, a large sum amount of $1 million. And the problem is that if we're dealing with inflation, whatever we're dealing with, you're spending more than your revenues. So you're exceeding your revenue source of what solely funds the road department. That's like saying another department is spending more than what they're bringing in, and they just go ahead and keep creating a bill. So is this going to be a reoccurring thing, or what's going on? I mean, it just needs to be explained so I can essentially vote for it and understand it. You know, if there's all these bills, you would think you would turn in $1 million worth of invoices to go along with what you're asking for.
Judge?
Go ahead, Justice Holcomb.
These bills have been due since, September, and everybody's had plenty of opportunity to ask for this stuff, and I really hope that we as a quorum court don't table it again and make people that we owe money and have owed money for 5-6 months have to wait another month for their money. I really think that would be unacceptable.
Well, let's be clear. The county judge has a new budget, and he can expense money out of his budget to pay vendors, even if it's a bill for 2023. So let's get the understanding. He does have the money to pay bills, even if they're carryover bills. He has the funding to appropriate or to expense immediately to satisfy those bills.
He could actually do an emergency executive order and pay them if he wanted to, but he's trying to do it the right way.
Well, if
he
that's
wants
what
to
he
do an
feels
emergency
what he needs to
executive
do.
order, he could pay all those bills and he could go right by the
Quorum court.
Quorum court.
Right
He certainly
by.
could.
Okay.
But because that's under his right as a county judge, but he's trying to do it the right way and pay everybody with the quorum court's approval, and we can't seem to get past it.
Well, Justice Holcomb, I appreciate your opinion.
Well, I appreciate your sermon.
Bottom line is two things. One, I need invoices to approve $1 million. And two,
You've been sitting there for 5 months and you haven't asked for them.
and two,
Now you're suddenly asking for it.
And two, it brings us back to the first email that we got this year, which we've been getting along with these similar agendas, brings us back to the same conversation we had last year about the actual agenda. We received an email from the county judge saying that all agendas will come from his office and he will make all changes or approvals for said agenda, which puts us right back in the same situation where we were last year.
Justice
Again,
Franklin.
I just ask you, please pass it on so that the people can know.
I will say this. It's strictly up to the quorum court. If y'all want to vote it up or vote it down, that's totally up to you. All the asking for the invoices and all those things, that can be done, be made readily available after it is voted on. That's totally up to you guys. So I'm ready to move this on and vote. And so move this on, vote on it. Yes. Yes.
Adams?
This actually has been asked for more than one time. For the last several months, we've been asking for professional services to be explained. You said it was a line item. I mean, they sitting there talking about the same thing we've been talking about for the last 3 months.
And Justice Adam, you are exactly right. It is a line item that's within the county judge's budget that he can pay out of. So this is the thing. We can get into the operations and all those things. Certainly you have the right to ask about those monies. But the operations of how we pay the money strictly falls up under me. And again, the invoices themselves, we are available. My office is available to provide those to you, to call, to come down, to see whatever you want to do. Those things have been there. The effort of the Quorum Court, if they wanted to see those, I mean, readily available. Just call my office and we could have provided you with those invoices. So, again, whether you agree with the bills accumulating, however they're accumulated, and we've just told you with the inflation the way it is and the cost of materials and all those things, no, we didn't just keep spending money. We were asking for appropriations. We knew we was going to need additional appropriations when stuff started going up. So it's not like you didn't know. So let's take a vote on it,
Judge.
And we'll move on from it. Justice, yes.
At the end of the year, I thought we all agreed that we were going to get these resolved at the first meeting in the Quorum Court in January. And it seems to me that all of these that we have on the agenda, not only this one, but the others, were part of that motion to get all these vendors paid. This one happens to be in the county roads department. And I'd like to see us accomplish that tonight.
Thank you, Justice Byrd. Let's call for a vote. Let's call for the vote.
Just a quick question.
Yes.
This don't get appropriated, the money that we have now, can you still pay the bills?
It's still gonna,
Yes or no?
Justice Franklin, you don't tell me what's a yes or no.
Yes or no?
Justice Franklin, and you weren't acknowledged. You weren't acknowledged, first of all. Justice Jackson, as I said in the last meeting, I said we have a new budget. We can expend those monies, but I can assure you we still have delinquencies that's going to cause us to come back and ask for this again. Yes, yes. So, yes.
If it didn't go, you pay them and get appropriation later on, so I was asking.
Yes, okay. I call for the vote. Go ahead.
Adams.
Judge, before I vote, I do have one more statement. Yeah, I go first. I got to say. I want to see this move forward, but for some reason or another, we've been passing this information on and not receiving it as we asked for it. And now we're at the point where we got to do it. Everything is got to do it now, got to do it now. And I want to see this off the table, but we got to find a way to get this information to the Quorum Court as we asked for it, that we wouldn't even be going through it right now. So my second question is this a dual agenda? Dual agenda.
No.
No, it's not. That's the agenda right there.
It's the agenda that came out of the county judge's office.
Go ahead, Justice Johnson.
I guess the problem is, like I said, we owe this money. And has anybody come back? Because like, I don't want to see it. You say that I trust all the elected officials that the bills they said they have. But the Quorum Court members, I know you said several times that they could come by your office to get these bills or go to the road department. And I think that's what if you want it, because everybody don't want it, because I've never known an elected official to sit up and pay, ask for money and didn't pay the bills. So we owe these people, we didn't pay them last year. And to start off again, not paying these people, talking about we don't have invoices. Well, I know for a fact that just about every meeting, he said you can come to the judge's office. And so I think, you know, if you want to know, go see it. I have no problem if you want to go see it. But I don't think it needs to be passed out to the whole court on the ones that have problems. I think the elected officials, I guess, putting the money in the pocket somehow.
When you was budgeted, did you provide invoices for stuff you want?
I provided, I didn't have to go to all look, when
You
I
provided invoices for it.
if they asked me, then they asked me, they came to my office, yes. And they came to my office. I didn't have to bring it in here myself.
Okay. So they gave you money for no invoice.
No, I didn't say that, so you don't sit there and say what I said. I didn't say that. I said if they asked before they got it.
Judge, can I finish my statement?
Okay,
Can I finish
one
my
more
statement?
comment and then we'll move on.
Okay. We've been having these meetings with the dual agenda, which been working fine. And you know we're still in the same position with these, with this suit. And all we have asked, just like you asked us come to your office, we have asked this to be a dual agenda where both parties have skin in the game. But now we finna pass again. Try to pass it, well, we smiling, but you know what the truth. To get something done.
I don't know how, I mean.
That's what we have asked, though, that we have a dual agenda. It could be the same. It's been the same agenda. But we want got the suit now. So we're gonna pass it on what's going on right now.
But Justice Adams, if you want to pass it, pass it. Vote to pass it. If you don't want to pass it, vote no.
Judge, that ain't what we're trying to say.
Okay, well, no, I'm not.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, listen. There's not a dual agenda. This is the agenda that we're talking about. Now we're talking about dual agendas. This is the agenda that we're talking about. I'm not trying to be funny, Justice Adams. I'm just, I mean, all this conversation now, I mean, you didn't ask for it during the committee. Now all of a sudden you ask for it during the full court. So let's at this point, if you want to pass it and you truly want to pass it, then vote yes. You know that the need is there. The invoices can be provided to you after the meeting if that's what you want, or whatever. We'll get you the invoices. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know what else you want me to tell you, Justice Adams. I mean, we're here to vote for these items, vote them up, vote them down. You know, again, I've appealed to you on several occasions that we need the money. This is like the fourth month in a row. I mean, you know, I don't know what else you want me to tell you.
Well, I'll tell you, I need a copy of the invoice. If they can scan them and email them to me, that would be great. I need them. I would like to see the invoices of $1 million that have not been paid from 2022. I would like to see those invoices. And for the rest of the JPs here, this is not my first year on the Quorum Court. In the prior 6 years of experience, no one turned in a request for something without an invoice or something attached to it explaining what it is. And Justice Johnson, when you turned in an appropriation request, you turned in invoices or receipts or some type of quote for whatever it was that you were requesting. So nobody just turns in something for it.
Yeah, the votes have been called.
You never seen an invoice come through with a request for appropriation? They never tell you what they're asking for or put anything in there, what something's gonna cost.
Madam Secretary, the vote has been called. Call for the vote.
Adams.
Come back.
Agee.
Yes.
Byrd.
Yes.
Curl.
No.
Dumas. Franklin. Gaddy.
Yes.
Harding.
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes.
Jackson.
I'm back to me.
Patricia Johnson.
Yes.
Reginald Johnson.
You understand?
Margaret Williams.
Yes.
I got one. Oh, come back.
Go back.
Adams. Dumas
Yes.
and Jackson.
Yes.
Okay, you got 10 years, it passed.
Motion passed. Go ahead, Justice Dumas.
Okay, what I want to say is, I understand that some of you all get upset when people ask questions and things like that. First of all, it's not fair just because someone doesn't agree with you to be rude to them because you don't agree with the questions that they're asking and why they're asking them. And I think that needs to stop. Everybody deserves to get an answer. And to just cut them off and say, we calling for a vote, we doing this, I think that's wrong. If you want that person to be, if you want to tell them what exactly is going on, and they're asking that question, I think you should do that. Explain it. And for the quorum court members, I don't see where it should be that animosity because someone does not agree with what you think is the right thing to do. We're all individuals. We all have a vote, but that's not treating people right. And I think it needs to stop. Just because we don't agree with each other does not mean we have to be sarcastic and we have to talk down to each other and we have to comment under our breath to each other when somebody's talking. It's wrong. And I don't see what is necessary. We can agree to disagree and keep it moving. And that's all I want to say.
Judge, can I speak? Can I speak?
As the first year justice, I've had to learn a lot this year. And one thing that I've tried to learn is that legislators are accountable for every dime in this district. Not just the road department, which I have a lot of passion for, but every other department as well.
Thank you, Justice Williams. Thank you, Justice Dumas.
Judge, I'd like to speak.
Justice Harden.
I'd like to say that I've been on this court 27 years, 25 plus, whatever years. If I have an issue with an appropriation, I've got it in front of me. If I've had an issue with it and the judge has always said he's got an open door policy, why in the world can't we ever go to the county judge to something of this magnitude that concerns so many of you? Why haven't you contacted the judge, gone to him, and asked for a resolution? I've done that several times, and he's never turned me down, and never has any other judges that I've been working with turned me down when I go to him. So I just don't understand why we got to wait till we have a quorum court meeting and then just disrupt the whole thing. After he says he's already got the invoices and will provide them, and that's not sufficient enough. I'm just tired of hearing all this.
I'm thankful. Right.
Item 2.
Chair,
Let's move on
I've
to
asked for the vote. I've asked for the numbers on the vote.
10-3.
Mm-hmm.
10-3.
Yeah, 10 yes votes.
Yes. And it passed. Next item.
An appropriation ordinance to provide an appropriation to fund 1,000 county general, county judge buildings.
Move the adoption.
Motion has been made and properly second. Question?
Question,
Yes, ma'am.
what is the appropriation amount?
$230,582.97.
Okay.
And that's the buildings.
Any other questions?
And that's labeled under county judge buildings. But as I look at it, 90,000 professional services, 12,000 miscellaneous, 70,000 maintenance and service contracts. Now we label it as county general, county judge buildings. When I look at it, the only thing I'm seeing in here is, looks like some bills from some attorneys.
So we provided those invoices to the contract services, which was the cleaning services, other bills such as HVAC stuff from, we provided all those invoices, what we needed from building.
To who?
In the breakdown,
No.
of what we were asking for.
No, it's not in here.
Well, the line items as to which they go under was detailed out. And again,
Well, what I am seeing in here is a bill for $50,000 from an attorney, New Licks Law Offices out of Little Rock, Arkansas. So if that's under buildings and grounds, and that's what we're looking at, and we're approving a ordinance on appropriation to pay $50,000 to a law firm, and it looks like there's another bill in here from a second law firm. I don't see any invoices here for anything that's dealing with buildings, just attorney fees. And then my second question is, if we're about to approve an appropriation for some attorney fees, we got a bill out there that we've been trying to get paid for our attorney for a while now. So you're not listing or saying what you're actually gonna spend this money on. They've attached an attorney's bill to it, and there's no detail on what we're actually spending the money on, once again.
again, in those were invoices that was from Burton Newell Law Firm, from Molinix Law Firm, from Castleberry Law Firm, and others. So those were pointed out. In this, it may have been under the buildings, but some of these services were listed to go in the line items that we needed them go in under the judge's office. So what happened, Justice Franklin, is that the detailed list that we originally had, we pulled from that original list and reduced it down so that in hopes to get the approval of the quorum court. So although it may be listed and has buildings under the appropriations, those lines that we have them under fall up under the county judge. And so it is still under the county judge's purview, and what those expenditures are for are listed. So we can go back and forth again over the same thing. We can go back and forth, but the fact of the matter is that these are bills that are past due.
So we're talking about bills that are past due. Once again, this is under county judge buildings, not the county judge's office. You're putting this in buildings, and you're paying attorneys out of buildings. So one thing, whether it's in there, you haven't outlined the rest of the other $100-some thousand of what you're asking for. But then secondly, I'm asking about, if we're paying attorneys, there's a claim out there, which I'm pretty sure 8 or 9 of us on the quorum court here have concerns over a bill that needs to be paid to an attorney that has not been paid. So if we're spending $50,000 to Mulix and $30,000 to Burton Newell, we're about to spend a sum of $100,000 on attorneys. We have a claim that the quorum court is responsible for the sum of $6,000 or $7,000 that you have denied the claim. So my question is, how do you plan to deal with that?
Justice Franklin.
Judge.
I think, go ahead, Justice Byrd.
This is for the original lawsuit that we had where the sheriff sued all of us, and all but one member of the quorum court agreed and signed off for that attorney to represent us. The second lawsuit is still ongoing, and we haven't dealt with that. But I have sent a personal check to that attorney for my prorated portion of that out of my pocket. So I paid my part, and what we're trying to do tonight again is to catch up all these bills that were sitting there at the end of the year that we agreed need to be paid. The purpose of this first meeting was to get all those bills caught up so that we wouldn't be carrying those forward. Over the past several meetings that we had folks showing up here that hadn't been paid for maintenance activities from the health department, services, cleaning up and whatnot. And this will cover all that. And I think we need to pay them and get caught up even. And then we can deal with this other lawsuit. But as I said, I have sent Attorney Dale a check out of my pocket to pay for my portion of this second lawsuit. But this is concerning the first one that's been resolved. The special judge came in and dismissed our part of it, but we still owed the attorney for the activities that they did on that behalf.
So, Justice Byrd, if we're trying to handle all the vendors that are unpaid, are we asking to handle the vendors that have not been paid for all elected officials, all outstanding bills?
I think this is the one that catches us up for what was due at the end of the year.
Well, what we're asking is, are we doing this for all elected officials across the board, all outstanding bills? Is that your testament today that we're here to try to catch up on all the bills to make sure that all the vendors who have not been paid by elected officials are brought current?
All I got is what's right here in this packet.
Judge.
And I'm ready for those to be settled.
Justice Jackson.
I received a couple of emails about some past due bills from 22 for the sheriff office, so.
That's in that list right here.
Yeah, so if we taking care of past due bills, is that the appropriation or is it just for the road department and now we're talking about the county judge office?
These are appropriations that I'm asking for out of the county judge's office that we talked about in the last meeting to bring these current.
And not the sheriff office, right?
Justice Jackson, I can only.
Just ask a question.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just telling you what's here. And if the sheriff has any delinquencies, I'm sure that he'll bring them to the table and we'll get them on the agenda.
And also, since the
I'm sure the appropriations that he asked for in the past, he's gotten them. So, I mean.
So since we appropriated this $1 million, then that means since you got this appropriation, we should be able to pay this $200-something. If this don't pass, you should be able to pay this out the new budget, right?
Yeah, we have a new budget. We're gonna pay the bills, and if the money runs out, I'll come back and ask for additional appropriation. That's what we do. That's what the sheriff do. If he runs out and he needs money, he come back and ask for appropriation. And he's got them, hadn't you, Sheriff? You've got that $930,000 appropriation, hadn't you? $960,000 in the past. And anytime you've come before, you've gotten those appropriations. I like that green.
I have, if you talk about it, it's not personal.
No, it's not personal. So, can we go ahead, Justice Gaddy?
My question is, since we're talking about paying off attorney fees, my question is, why can't we pay all the attorney fees and be done with that? What's the problem with that? The money is available. And I just don't know why, because it's just like 6,500.
Yeah.
6,500.
Let's bring it up on the next Quorum Court meeting.
We just need you to approve the claim.
No.
Mr. Chair.
Justice. And I know this, look, this is not on the agenda. Let's get what's on the agenda discussed and get it out of the way, and let's move on.
Mr. Chair.
So, let's, as Justice Jackson said, if you don't get it done, hey, we'll have to pay it, and we'll come back at a later date and pay it. So let's vote it up or vote it down.
Mr. Chair.
Justice Carroll, be brief, please.
Sir, I resent that. I had my hand up for over 10 minutes. People in the audience have seen that.
Justice Carroll, come on.
Now you tell me to make it be brief. People have spoken out of
Okay,
turn.
well, Justice Carroll, you got
You tell me to make it be
you
brief.
got an opportunity to go ahead and speak. Can you go ahead and ask your question?
I'd like to make a substitute motion.
Justice Carroll, what is it?
I'd like to make a motion that $7,000 be added to, this item, and earmark to pay the attorney fees for these, kicking down in the, case where you filed a lawsuit.
Justice Carroll. We're gonna,
Allow me to make a motion.
yeah, no, I'm not going, we're not entertaining the substitute motion.
You allow me to make
We're not entertaining the substitute motion.
Can I make a statement, Judge?
It's out there.
Yeah.
Support?
Judge, can I make a statement?
Go ahead.
According to, well, we had the other county attorney, that if we were being sued or whatever by someone in the county, that we had to pay it out of our own pocket. So I'm hoping they get there, because if they do, you all gonna pay me my $35,000, because they told me I had to pay it out of my own pocket. That's what the county attorney told me, and I paid it out of my pocket. So if they get there, I want that back.
The Quorum Court did.
Justice Carroll, Justice.
We have a motion on the floor. It's been seconded.
We can.
Listen.
Ask the attorney.
One attorney, if we paying attorneys,
Well, listen.
if we paying attorneys, you sued us.
Yes, I
You
did.
paying your attorney,
Let me
but
say
you
this.
withholding the Quorum Court, which we've passed an ordinance to make payment to our attorney, and you denied the claim.
I did.
So my question is, if you're suing the Quorum Court, why would you deny us from paying our attorney for representation?
And I'm gonna deny it again.
Why would you deny us to pay our attorney for representation? You paying your attorney with county funds, but you're suing the Quorum Court to try to control us, but you don't want us to pay our
No,
attorney.
I
We
would
just
never.
paid your attorney $50,000 and $100,000 in attorney fees, and we
I would
asking for
never.
$7,000 to pay our attorney for a lawsuit that you filed against us.
Some of those attorneys were, the attorney that you're talking about represented this Quorum Court. So I did pay the attorney.
So why not pay this one? What makes one attorney better than the other? What is your reason for not paying the attorney?
Okay, now you're getting into the.
It's a reason. We're talking with the Quorum Court. He's made a motion. I properly seconded. You're trying to override a motion. You're trying to overrule it. There is a due motion on the table that needs to be dealt with by the Quorum Court, and you want to kick it out. We are the Quorum Court.
And I preside, yeah, you are the Quorum Court. And I preside, and I'm not entertaining the substitute motion that you just made.
Did. You gave me permission to make it.
The motion has been made and it's been seconded.
Okay.
You
Well, I'll
asking for
tell
a
you
lump
what.
sum of $300-some-thousand.
Okay.
And he made
Well,
a
let's vote
motion
on
to
it.
amend it.
Justice Franklin, we'll vote on it. Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign.
No.
No.
Okay.
Adams,
Yeah.
A.G., Byrd,
No.
Carroll,
Yes.
Dumas,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
Gaddy,
Yes.
Harden,
No.
Holcomb,
I'm abstaining.
Jackson,
Yes.
Patricia Johnson,
No.
Reginald Johnson,
Yes.
Margaret Williams.
Yes.
It passed.
Okay. All right. Madam Secretary, move on to the next.
Item 3.
We're on item 2. Yeah. That was just to amend.
Okay, so that was the amended. Okay, so
Back to the original motion.
Okay, vote on number 2, yeah. Now we have to vote on number 2.
8 to 5. Uh-huh.
Let's add it to the old
Yeah, yeah.
Right, with the vote.
I understand what was saying.
Justice Carroll, don't worry about it. You just, don't worry about it, Justice Carroll. Go ahead, go ahead, Madam Secretary.
Okay, so this the.
You all really should laugh at the judge trying to make jokes.
Justice Carroll, will you please refrain from
We've
talking?
been doing it for 3 months. I'm just saying something.
Will you refrain from talking? Please, you're not recognized. You're not recognized, Justice Carroll.
So we're on item 2. This is the vote with the amended. Adams,
Yes.
AG,
I know what the hell we're talking about. You added that, have a vote for the whole package.
Now it goes,
Yeah.
Byrd.
I'm confused. What are we voting on now?
So this is item 2.
All the attorney fees.
No,
Curl,
I paid my part.
Dumas,
I wrote a check.
Franklin,
Paid her my part.
Gaddy, Hardin.
I want clarification on what we're voting on.
Okay.
There's been so much discussion and yelling and talking and back and forth.
No,
and
no,
not even addressing each other. I want to know what we're voting on.
So this is item 2 with the amended added 7,000 to the appropriation to pay Kimberly Dale on behalf of the county court.
No.
Holcomb,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Patricia Johnson, Reginald Johnson,
Yes.
Margaret Williams.
Yes.
It passed.
okay. What was the vote? What was the count?
8, 9, 10, 10-3.
Okay. Next item.
Item 3, an appropriation ordinance amending the budget for Jefferson County, Arkansas for the fiscal year January 1, 2024 through December 31st, 2024.
Move for the adoption.
What's the change?
Change as to whether it comes out of the detention facilities M&O reserve rather than come out of the public safety. And as you know, Justice Franklin, you did agree to that change in the amended budget, but if y'all want to go back, that's fine too. Do what you do.
Is it sustainable?
It is sustainable.
Is the sheriff here to speak to that and the county treasurer to speak to that?
It's coming from detention facilities M&O reserve. It's his money.
Yes, no.
It's his money.
Sheriff here?
I previously spoken with this committee meeting, very detailed, and I feel like it's sustainable. Certainly, Judge has a different opinion about that, but based on our numbers, we've done, is in the budget. The full-time newspaper,
Can you speak up a little
you all
bit, please?
provided with that information. Some additional information as well, but based on our numbers, it is not sustainable. I guess myself and Judge have to agree, disagree on that, but it is not.
Sheriff, if I remember correctly, we had a night that we asked each person to present their budget, and every other department presented their budget, and you weren't ready. You weren't ready.
And I'll specifically say the reason why that the budget time was not presented, Justice Holcomb, and you will know, I went in great detail about two things we're waiting on.
You just weren't ready.
But I guess you remember we weren't ready.
Yeah, you just weren't ready.
Judge,
I'd like to hear.
Okay. Justice Carroll. Justice Carroll.
I'd like to hear from.
I would like
Justice
to call a point of order because he's speaking disrespectfully to the sheriff.
Justice Carroll. Let's Justice Carroll, let's move on, please. Let's move on.
I didn't get a second.
Okay. I hadn't heard a second. That was a motion. Is there a second?
Move on. Motion to move on. Oh, what?
To adopt a third.
Oh, okay.
What was the motion? Could you restate it, Mr. Chair?
Madam Secretary, would you restate the third item?
An appropriation ordinance amending the budget for Jefferson County, Arkansas for the fiscal year January 1, 2024 through December 31st, 2024.
What was the motion is what I asked? Not the title.
To approve it.
I'm sorry.
To approve it.
To approve, to amend it?
Yeah, approve to amend it to, for it to come from detention facilities M&O reserve. And let me be clear, let me be clear to the justices. This is not a ongoing issue. This was for this year and this year that we ask this to be done. Budgets are done from year to year. So this is something that we're not, next year revenues may not call for this. So we had felt that this was a different funding mechanism, that this would be best for this particular year. It's still the sheriff's money. Nobody can touch it but him. It's detention facilities, M&O reserve. It's created for him. So what's your pleasure?
Mr. Chairman, point of information.
Yes, Justice Carroll.
Did the maker of the motion include the provision to suspend the rules and put this on its third and final reading?
That was done at the beginning, Justice Carroll.
I think you agreed to do it with each one. So.
Yeah. So I'll entertain a motion to suspend the rules and take it to a third reading where it's applicable. Been a motion?
I speak to the motion.
And a second.
I speak to the motion.
Justice Carroll?
I would urge my colleagues not to vote for suspending the rules on the passage of this piece of legislation. This piece of legislation, along with the two others that have been voted on tonight, and the 5 items that were
Justice Carroll.
as a compromise.
Justice Carroll.
The budget has totally manipulated the budget process and the work we put in for 6 or 7 weeks. And I would ask you not to approve the suspending of the rules.
Thank you, Justice Carroll.
One more thing.
Go ahead, Justice.
I'd ask that at any time the sheriff needs additional funding, that the avenue be open for him to approach. And,
Always has. Always has.
Amen.
So, a motion has been made to suspend the rule and is properly second. All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign.
Aye.
Madam Secretary?
Adams,
This is suspend the rule.
This is just a suspended rule.
what was the?
I think he said come back.
He said come back.
I thought this was.
Oh. Motion to suspend the rules on item 3.
To read by title only?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
AG,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
Pearl,
No.
Dumas,
Yes.
Franklin,
Abstain.
Gaddy,
Yes.
Hardin,
Yes.
Holcomb,
Yes.
Cedric Jackson,
Yes.
Patricia Johnson,
Yes.
Reginald Johnson,
Yes.
Margaret Williams.
Yes.
What's the count, Madam Secretary?
Eleven to 2.
Okay, thank you.
Are we back on the
Back on
original,
the original, yes.
original motion? I didn't get a second. I had
Motion has been
Hardin.
made a second.
Second.
Okay.
So to be clear,
Go ahead.
This vote is to change the provided budget that the sheriff provided and what, nah, we voting on the item now, right? Yeah, okay. So to be clear, this vote is yes to change the budget or change the item to have it funded the way the county judge wants, or no, to keep it funded the way that the county sheriff says, which he feels is sustainable.
The motion is this one right here. And a motion amending. Yes.
Adams,
Okay, I don't.
It's this right here. It's real simple.
Collin Road,
Nah, she not gonna read it, they voted to change. This vote is to change.
Y'all voted.
We already did that. We already voted to read it. You
Yes.
taking the vote on
all numbers are.
Yes. So, recall.
Adams,
The sheriff said he can't make it. I said no.
AG,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
Curl,
No.
Dumas,
No.
Franklin, Getty,
No.
Hardin,
Yes.
Holcomb,
Yes.
Jackson,
Judge, in your own words, you said you can't run a department, so my vote is no.
Patricia Johnson,
Yes.
Reginald Johnson,
I'm with the sheriff, no.
Margaret Williams.
The executive of the sheriff's department says no.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got 8 5, so it failed, right?
Yes. Madam Secretary, make note is that the Quorum Court in the last meeting agreed upon this change, but now in this vote, they gone back on their word, so thank you.
I never agreed. I never agreed.
I entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion adjourned.
Ma'am. Okay. Hey. Ain't gonna be no fighting here. I'm gonna have the last say so. Ain't gonna be no licks bad. I'm secure. First person pass the lick, I'm gonna take him outside. Take him outside myself. I want to spank some folks anyway. Spank a few of them and come back to this meeting. They'll be acting like it got sense.
Yes, sir, I do. I got that messed up foot. I just got here and people been dogging me out for no reason. Oh, they gonna get it though. Oh, my family behind it too.